If you've never listened to Plant Talk Radio, our weekly gardening program hosted by Fred Hauer, you really should take a listen to the whole show. You can go to our website at planttalkradio.com and listen, or subscribe to the show on iTunes. Here's today's question.
And welcome back to the program. Mark News here alongside Fred Hauer, the Ohio nurseryman. And Fred, we just got a call during the break from Nancy, and she had a couple of quick questions for you. She didn't want to be on the radio, but she wanted me to ask you. One has to do with ferns.
Okay.
She has two, what she described it as Boston ferns.
Okay.
And she said one of them, after she waters it, is very heavy, and one after she waters is very light. Now, she said the one that's heavy appears to be draining, just like the one that's light. But, like she said, she watered them last night. She came out this morning. One was still very heavy. One was very light. And she said the one that's heavy, she has to pick dead spots off of it all the time. So she's wondering, what's the difference and what should she do?
Well, I'm going to have to bet that she maybe did not buy them at the same time and place. Some, therefore, the two would be from different producers. And the odds are, on the one that is, heavy, wet, it has a more dense planting medium in the container. Now, it would not be soil. Garden soil in containers just does not work. But you can still add more peat moss, more of the water-holding components into one. I would prefer the lighter one. It will drain faster and may worry you with watering, but you know that it's draining out, and the roots will not be overwhelmed by lack of oxygen and so on. And I think that lack of oxygen is killing enough roots that therefore she's losing some top fronds in the fern, and I would guess that to be the case. Now, I really don't know for sure, but that would certainly be my best bet, to the extent that if I were her and if I understand at all, I would water the one daily as she needs to do, the lighter one, and then the other one maybe even every 4 or 5 days. It'll depend on the kind of container. If it's a plastic container where it drains only at the bottom and doesn't dry out, let's just say on the sidewalls, that's one factor. If it is one that has moss or what have you in a wire basket, it'll drain much quicker. So those are all things to take into consideration. But immediately, my thoughts would go to less frequent watering on the heavy one.
She also said that on her roses, she was getting some holes in the leaves and things like that. And so she went to the store and bought one of those, like a 21-day treatment that you put on the roses. I guess she would be talking about the kind that's, you pour it around. Yeah, the internal kind.
Right.
So she said that, but now the holes are starting to return again. Does she wanted to know, should she just go ahead and repeat the treatment?
Well, I would say yes. Now, I don't know that you'd have to wait 21 days, but I would not go closer than probably 12 to 15. I don't know what it is she's been using, nor how long it's effective and so on. You can get into some root troubles if you overwhelm a plant with some of these things. The odds are not strong on that happening, but I would suggest that she do repeat it, because once you put this on, it has to dissipate probably through the use of water. And most of these are recommending that you water them in very thoroughly, and that gets into the plant, and then it gets up through the vascular system. So it takes several days for the material to become functional, and therefore I don't see why she couldn't repeat at the end of the cycle. So I guess, without having read the directions or know what she's using, if it says 21 days, about 15 to 18 days, I'd be putting on the next increment so it continues to work that way.